Ladies and gentlemen, get ready to ignite your party with the electrifying beats and non-stop energy of Just Cool Radio. Whether you're planning a wedding, corporate event, birthday bash, or just a night to remember, Just Cool Radio is your go-to DJ and dance entertainer, guaranteed to make your event unforgettable. With an extensive music library spanning all genres, Just Cool Radio knows how to read the crowd and keep the dance floor packed all night long. From classic hits to the latest chart toppers, every song is expertly mixed to perfection, creating a seamless flow that keeps the party vibes high. But that's not all. Just Cool Radio brings more than just music. With dynamic lighting, engaging MC skills, and interactive dance routines, this entertainment package is designed to captivate and thrill your guests from start to finish. Whether it's an intimate gathering or a grand celebration, Just Cool Radio tailors the experience to match your vision and exceed your expectations. Book Just Cool Radio today and turn your event into an extraordinary celebration of music, dance, and pure fun. For booking and inquiries, visit www.justcoolradio.com or call +44 7904 598 848. Get ready to dance the night away with Just Cool Radio, where every beat brings the heat.
Whatever you want, whatever you need, anything you want done, baby, I'll do it naturally. 'Cause I'm every woman, it's all in me. It's all in me.
Guys, and welcome now to the BiaBora show on Just Cool Radio. How's your day going? Happy Mother's Day!
Secrets you can't tell. Mix a special groove with fire inside of you. Anytime you feel danger or fear, then instantly I will appear. Oh, I'm every woman. It's all
Hey guys, happy Sunday. You're locked into the BiaBora show. Live this Muffin Sunday. Nice to be with you, nice. How's your Sunday going, guys? Happy Mother's Day all around the world. So as we kick off the show today, we're going to start with a prayer for all the mothers and everyone around the world. Thank you, God. So, God. Good afternoon, guys. So, Heavenly Father, we thank you for this beautiful Sunday. We thank you for the gift of life and the profound blessings of mothers, grandmothers, and all the incredible mother figures who nurtured our souls, and guide our paths. We ask for your divine presence in the studio today and in the homes of everyone listening. May our words inspire, may our music uplift, and our stories honor the legacies of those who came before us and those who continue to shape us. Amen, in Jesus' name. So good afternoon, guys. Good afternoon, and a very warm welcome to the BiaBora show. I am your host, as usual, Bianca Deborah, and today is not just any old Sunday. It's a very special day. It's Mother's Day, and we're here for two glorious hours and big conversations. I have a very special guest in the studio today, JAMILA Bolton Gordon, which a lot of you might remember. Her father was an activist. You may well remember the Mangrove 9 rioting all around London town. Stay tuned as my guest will join me later. And a happy Sunday. I'm going to play some more music and enjoy the groove. So as it's Mother's Sunday, I think I'll play some spice because it's been a long time we got spicy. As I wait for my guest to come in, guys. So this is all to the mamas out there. Happy listening, guys. To the mamas.
She used to be my only
for my guest Jamila to join me live on the show today. So while we're playing, I'm going to play some more music to get you in the groove. So it reminds me of last week's show, an independent woman. So Women's Day. So now I'm going to play you some Women's Worth. So everyone should remember a woman's worth, definitely.
She used to be my only enemy and never let me be free, catching me in places that I knew I shouldn't be. Every other day I crossed the line. I didn't mean to be so bad. I never thought you would become the friend I never had. Back then I didn't know why you were
A Woman's Worth, Alicia Keys.
So now I see through your eyes. All that you did was love. Mama, I love you. Mama, I care. Mama, I love you. Mama, my friend, you're my I didn't want to hear it then, but I'm not ashamed to say it now. Every little thing you said and did was right for me. I had a lot of time to think about the way I used to be. I never had a sense of my responsibility. Back then I didn't know why you were misunderstood. So now I see through your eyes. All that you did was love. Mama,
In the studio audience, I've got Jamila Bolton Gordon, daughter of Roden Gordon. As you guys may remember, some of you, the Mangrove Nine arrived. Brief review of the 1970s, was the 1970s, Notting Hill protest and the 1971 Old Bailey trial that first exposed racial hatred in it within the police system. Hello, Jamila, to the show. Welcome to BiaBora Show on JusCoolRadio.
Hi, everybody. Happy Mother's Day to people who celebrate Happy Mother's Day. It's Mother's Day for every day. Hope you all are well and stay well. And thank you for having me.
You're very welcome. So lovely to have you on the show, Jamila. So, Jamila, the Mangrove Restaurant was a hub for intellectuals back in the day. The likes of Bob Marley and Nina Simone, many of them went there. So, why was it so important for the black community to remember this day and to have a space back then? Why was it so important for us as a black community to have that space within that restaurant back in the day?
Well, every culture that comes into a country or is within that country has to have those four pillars of survival in a cultural environment. You need your banking system or your financial system, you need your educational system, you need your health system, and you need your cultural identity system. So when our parents came and they came to destitution, when they came with all the skills that they came with engineering and carpentry and nursing, doctors, solicitors, all the various trades, writers, academics. When they came, they didn't have any um, institutions that represented themselves, even down to food. They didn't even have their own food. So it was highly important for them to build up their own cultural environment. And once they did that, then they could operate in a way that they were used to, which is replicating back home, what they see as their home. So if you don't have that, then you have no roots, as they say. You'll have the tree, but with no roots, and then you won't function. So it's very important to have, like the Jewish culture, they've developed their own institutions, their own environment, their own city. Same with the Indians. They've got, say, for instance, Southall. They have Harrow. And, you continue on with those processes.
Absolutely. Thank you, Jamila. Would you like to take a mic? I'm sure. Can you test your mic? Is it working?
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Perfect. So good. You got mic working. So, guys, today on BiaBora, we honor Mother's Day, but we're also celebrating a powerful chapter in British history. Many people know about civil rights in America, but fewer know about the historic fight for justice here in Britain involving the Mangrove 9 trial. 9 black activists were arrested for protesting police harassment of a Caribbean restaurant in Notting Hill. Their case became a landmark moment that exposed racism within the police and helped shape Britain's civil rights movement. One of those activists was Roden Gordon, a community leader who dedicated his life to justice and education. So today I'm joined by his daughter, Jamila, for those of you just joining in, who continues to keep that legacy alive. So let's warm up our brains first. What year did the Mangrove protest began? Guys, what year did the Mangrove protest began? So while you're doing that, I'm going to play some music. So we're going to listen to Bob Marley.
Yeah, well, we inherited Bob Marley. We were grateful for him to come, and he was a good friend of my dad's. He has 2 children in Ladbroke Grove, and I'm sure if you see by Bob Marley's film, even though they whiz through it and don't really give us much depth or essence of his the time that the Wailers lived here, and if all who don't know, Bob Marley and the Wailers produced the Wailers album Exodus in Ladbroke Grove. So we are very proud of our musicians, our cultural heroes, our entrepreneurs, our creatives in general. And the other aspects we've had, as Bianca said, we've had Jimi Hendrix, we've had Nina Simone, we've had who's the other boys that I can't think of right this second? Sammy Davis Jr., we've had Diana Ross, we've had a number of artists that have come, a number of diplomats that have come, heads of state that have come, not only to the Mangrove restaurant, but also to my dad's restaurant, which was Backyard. We also had Backyard as a media hub. We used to run a newspaper. We also ran a number of highly intelligent lawyers that helped defend the trial, the Mangrove 9 trial. So Portobello and All Saints Road were the power hubs of North Kensington. And we also were the people who introduced the law centres, which is now the blueprint for the Citizens Advice Bureau. So yes, we've got a lot of history going there.
Amazing. So welcome to BiaBora, Jamila. How does it feel to share your father's legacy today, especially on Mother's Day?
Well, first of all, homage to my mother. Without my mother, I don't think, and the backbone of my father and other aunties that were in my family, my dad would not be able to do half of the activism and formulating a lot of the business opportunities for young people and housing. So it's an interesting one. My father's not here with us. He passed away on the 8th of May, 2018. But to talk about both or feel both, especially spiritually for my father and physically for my mother, is a great feeling.
Amazing, Jamila. So growing up, when did you first realise your father had been part of such an important movement in British history?
I always knew that the people around him, and including him, were special individuals. We had a black library, intellectual library that Paul Boateng and Diane Abbott used to frequent when they were teenagers or in Cambridge. So excuse me. So we were always. I was always aware that we were special. Didn't understand it. Sometimes ran from it because when you're young, you want to have fun. They were very serious individuals. So from an early age, from about 8, 9, I started to realize that we had a number of charity organizations that supported the environment that I was in.
Amazing. So, guys, we're going to take a music break now and listen to some Bob Marley. If I can get it to play my music. Oh, Lord. Anonymous Spice Girls.
Well, never mind. Spice up Bob Marley, eh? Bit of a technical one there. Maybe I have to take it off that one. And which one were you thinking of? Which ones have you sung?
There we go. Exodus, Bob Marley. Move it to your people.
Remember, that was produced in Ladbroke Grove, North Kensington.
Oh, yeah, obviously it was. Today's been quite a trying day. But the devil's a liar. Every Sunday seems to be trying for me for some reason. Yeah, well, it's actually recorded in Ladbroke Grove. I know I don't know.
Exodus. Movement of your people. Oh yeah. Ever no title up and tell you this. Men and people will fight you down. Tell me why. When you see John light. Let me tell you, if you're not wrong, then why? Everything is alright. So we gonna walk
Bob Marley by Bob Marley. Bob Marley by Bob Marley. And the Wailers, of course. So, Jamila, the Mangrove Restaurant is a hub for intellectuals like C.L.R. James and icons like
Yeah, no, we look. We're in. I suppose if we look at it from the young people's perspective, they were young when they came, when they were formalizing areas that they could develop, live, develop, work. So you can't do that if you don't have an area where you can sit down and strategize.
Absolutely. So the Mangrove 9 trial lasted 55 days. Two defendants, Althea Jones Leconte and Darcus Ho, represented themselves. How did that act of defiance change the legal game for us as black people?
Well, you missed out my dad because he was a third defender, self-defending.
Oh,
which
was
they don't
he
write-
really?
They don't write about that.
Oh, no, yeah, because I did research that. But yeah. Seriously?
It's part of the things that we have to change. You know, things are not accurate completely.
Yeah, so yeah, I'm glad you're here to change that part.
Yeah, so he came. They had a strategy, all of them, that two of them were initially would defend themselves because they all had lawyers right at the beginning. But the strategy was two would self-defend because you'd have more access to the prosecution information about them. Then you'd know how to strategize and build a defense brief.
That makes sense, yeah.
Which you normally wouldn't do if you have a lawyer because that's what he would do for you on your behalf.
Yeah, totally.
But when they realized that the judicial system was corrupt and lawyers are based on conditioning of the law, so they're not really on your side, but they will act on behalf of you to get the best deal. Now, the best deal is for the law side. It's not necessarily for your side. In other words, you know, they will say to you, just plead guilty. And they do that to the young people now in Boston and other places. You misrepresent them. You just want to tick the box. So you'll tell them, just say plead guilty, even if you're not guilty, and you'll get a short sentence because we need to wrap up now.
Yeah, absolutely.
And if you're vulnerable, if you have you're intellectually compromised or you don't feel confident, you would just say yes because you're panicking, and you just have a conviction without really understanding what the end result of that conviction would be long term for you, and the impact of you not being able to get a job. It affects your housing, it affects your credit, and all those things. So our parents were exceptionally bright, and as we've seen in the last two generations, they've dumbed down the educational system so we can't intellectually match even our parents, which is embarrassing now. So my dad's self-defending. He was he held the Black Law Center, Black People's Information Center. So that was the first law center as well as Harrow Road, and that was also the blueprint for Citizens Advice Bureau.
Oh, yeah, so that's why, or catapulted from, shall I say, yeah.
The governments use us very well.
Yeah,
They'll give us credit.
That. Yeah, totally,
Housing associations is all us as well. So my dad became the three, and they really took the police to court because they had access to their little black books that they all jointly copied each other's notes on, and that's what caught them out in the trial. Because no one person sees the same thing. But yet all of their testimonies were the same.
Yeah, totally.
So my dad he also had the camera that took pictures that stated that half of them weren't in the actual march. So yeah, it was very pivotal. He had a 4-hour closing speech. The other two had 3-hour closing speeches. So as the Kensington newspaper reports, they were breathtaking, those speeches. Because if you can captivate an audience for 4 hours, on imperialism, which is what we're seeing playing out now, the last of the imperialism,
totally.
then you know that you are very confident. You used to speak in Speaker's Corner as well, so you know that these people are very confident. And hail out to my aunties, Barbara Bees and Althea LaQuant Jones, exceptionally bright women, and the women that supported the men and themselves and their children through the trial.
Amen. Happy Mother's Day. So yeah, guys, today we're honoring Mother's Day, and also a special day in history. So to recap, in the early 1970s, in the heart of Notting Hill, a small Caribbean restaurant called the Mangrove Restaurant became more than just a place to eat. It became a cultural home, a meeting place, a refuge for community voices, but it also became a point of target. Police raids on the restaurant were frequent and aggressive, creating tension between the community and authorities. Eventually, activists organized a protest, a march demanding a dignity, fairness, and an end to harassment. So 9 people got arrested. They would later become known as the Mangrove Nine. So what happened that day, what happened next would change British legal history. For the first time, we're talking about this because some people brush it under the carpet and they don't remember about the Mangrove Riot, but still very much a part of British history and British legacy. So I've got the daughter of Gordon here. To recap, I've got here JAMILA Bolton Gordon. So yeah, guys, because history isn't just about events; it's about people, it's about courage, and often it's about the mothers who raised those courageous voices to become activists. You get me? And so we celebrate Mother's Day today. We also celebrate the mothers who raised those leaders, activists, and change makers in society. The mothers who taught their children that dignity is not at all negotiable. The mothers who whispered strength into their children's ears when the world told them that they did not belong. Today on the BiaBora Show, we honor that legacy. We remember, we reflect, and we celebrate the power of community. Stay with us, because today's conversation is not just about history. It's about heritage, courage, and the legacy we leave for the next generation. So right now I'm going to play you Alicia Keys' A Woman's Worth while you think about that.
You could buy me diamonds, you could buy me pearls, take me on a cruise around the world. Baby, you know I'm worth it. Dinner lit by candles, run my bubble bath, make love tenderly to last and last. Baby, you know I'm worth it. Wanna please, wanna keep, wanna treat your woman right. Not just dough, but a show that you know she is worth your time. You will lose if you choose to refuse to put her first. She will and she can't find a man who knows her worth. 'Cause a real man knows a real woman when he sees her. And a real woman knows a real man ain't afraid to please her. And
Yeah.
Cause a real man knows a real woman when he sees her. When he sees her. And a real woman knows a real man ain't afraid to please her. And a real woman knows a real man always comes first. First, baby. And a real man just can't deny a woman's worth.
To the day, guys, but make it better.
Comes first, and a real man just can't deny a woman's worth.
So, Jamila, when you think about your father today, what kind of man do you remember at home?
I remember his humor, which I miss. Even in the worst feelings or situations, the humor would come out first. He'd laugh first, and then that would kind of diffuse all the tension, anxiety, and then we would have a conversation. I miss someone having the ability to command a room and a presence. And I miss, as an older person now, I miss the questions that I would have asked him. What I know now, I'd like to ask him those questions now, especially how the world is, what he foresaw would be coming. I'd love to have his opinion.
Yeah, amazing. It's amazing how like fathers are like our foundation, aren't they? So as much as mothers, but I think for women, it's more.
I think fathers, as my dad used to say, I'm your, without any sexual connotation to this, but he used to say to me, I'm your first husband. And I couldn't quite understand that. And I said, what do you mean? And he says, well, you know, everything you will practice on me to understand what a king is, you will practice on me. So in other words, you know, when you want comfort, when you want intellectual challenge, when you want to understand from a male perspective something that comes up.
Yeah.
And the most important thing is that he would say, you know, protocol, but what the most important thing he would say to us is, I'm the only man in your life that will ever love you unconditionally.
Yeah, that's so true though.
Everybody will, every other man that comes into it, doesn't matter if your brother, your cousin, your husband, they will all love you with condition. And if you don't meet those particular standards or those conditions, then you don't have a very fulfilling relationship with that person.
So true. That's amazing. Very true. History often focuses on events, but families experience the human side. What impact did the trial have on your family life?
It was horrendous. We have PTSD from it as we speak. If somebody, I think people who, like the Bradford 12, the Oval 4, any Stephen Lawrence, well, they're a good example because they're more modern. Anybody who has a family member that's gone through trial, especially a very public trial, will understand what it means to the family in the sense of the stress on the family. Stress on friendships, because the Mangrove 9 went through a lot of stress between themselves and outwardly. I remember Auntie Althea, who headed up the British Black Panthers. She was pregnant at the time of the trial, so that was horrendous on her. And most of the Mangrove 9 women either had children a year before or were pregnant. So it really was very harrowing for my mother, and family members, and my sisters and brothers. So yeah, my when your parent or whoever it is that's in your family that you're close to is fighting for their freedom and moving away from censorship and economical starvation, because that's what they did to us, then and you survive that, you are definitely molded by those experiences that then push you into having a deeper understanding about not just life but politics, politics, as we call it,
Yeah, very
Um,
much so. Politics.
and how we handle politics going forward. I think
mhm.
it makes you wiser, but it definitely dents your emotional capability to have trust in the system.
Yeah, totally. Did your father ever express fear during that time at all?
No.
He never did.
When you got the licks in the police
When he got
station,
the
when you got
licks.
licks in the van, when you got licks in the court cells down in the at the bottom, no,
Wow.
no. He may the time he cried is when his mum passed away and he didn't get to Grenada because he spent 40 years fighting in here in England. That's when he cried. But outside of that, he either cried very privately or
You never saw it.
or I never saw it as a child.
Mm. What was the emotional atmosphere in the community while the trial was happening? What was going on within the whole community when this was going on?
Well, I think what the write up on the mangrove, Darker's book covers it to some extent, but what it doesn't really capture, where it's national archives or newspaper clippings, or is Labrador Grove in particular. They don't really understand Notting Hill. Notting Hill is a very peculiar area because it's old money. Old money acts differently to new money. Old money means that you're comfortable in your theft. So you don't have to strive and fight up for money that is, what can I say, is just immediate money you're looking for. They've got generational wealth. So their real estate is secure. So Labrador Grove is a real estate. So when we've come into somebody else's real estate, the council is just a gatekeeper for the real estate. The government is also a stakeholder, but the people who own the real estate and old money own the government. So when we've come into an area which is a power struggle, and we are not part of that, sitting on that table having the discussions about how to shape that area to suit us as migrants, then you are in a situation where, although we've built up, and one of the things that really grates me is that we have contributed over maybe 10 billion in capital profits for this country. None of it is spoken about. Carnival generates 350 to 500 million per year. Nobody talks about that. No. That contribution that we continually contribute to. We have built up the real estate for the rich. However, when we built it up, they took those houses and told us to go and get 30% into as a deposit for the next house that you would go, but you have to move out of that area. That was in the 80s. That was Maggie saying, "Oh, you can move out once you've done up the real estate to this amount, and we can buy it off you at a discounted amount." Now these rich people, their children have come back in and got the discounted amount that we've built up from scratch. So we are not beneficiaries of our own. What's the word? We've been ethnically cleansed, but we're not beneficiaries of the environment that we built, of the real estate that we built up, and made it attractive for people to want to come back to live in it now. That's what I don't like. Had you given us the acknowledgement, had you given us
the credit, acknowledgement, like you said,
but we couldn't even access funding in the 70s. We built housing associations. We had the first black playgroup because nobody looked after our children. The Irish mothers would look after the black children's children, so would the black mothers look after the Irish and their own children. So we had that understanding with the Irish.
That's why they used to say no blacks, no Irish. No.
Well, because England had desecrated Ireland, and an island used to be black, so did Scotland and so did Wales. Hence why Ireland.
And a lot of people don't know that.
Yeah, well, Scotland is named after
history for you guys.
Well, Scotland is named after a black queen, because Scotiania, and Europa is the black Moorish princess for Europe. So, unless you understand the continual blueprint of racism, discrimination. As we know, whites were only constructed 200 years ago. So there was never anything before about a white race before the 18th century. So there has been a lot to do with commerce in order for the elite to achieve financial goals, but there's nothing else outside of that. So for Little Labrador Grove, what we achieved after the place was bombed and blitzed, and asbestos houses and mold-ridden houses, no central heating, and it was dilapidated. And then when we had landlords like Rackman back in the 50s who made millions from our distress by converting the houses that the Labrooks, who were part of that estate, had built for their children, who then came down and said, nope, we don't listen to the 30s and 40s. We don't like the look of that. It's too many. It's pig farming, because Portobello used to be a pig farm.
Oh, I didn't know that actually.
Portobello is named after the Spanish admiral, because when they had their Napoleonic wars, a lot of the Spanish came into as migrants and refugees. They came into England, and they settled in Ladbroke Grove. So Ladbroke Grove.
Well, that's something I never knew. You told me something new, sis.
Yeah, Ladbroke Grove is a mix between the Spanish, Portuguese, West Indian, and the Moroccan that came a bit later on in the 70s. So we had black businesses. We had Frank Critchlow's restaurant wasn't unique. We had a whole stretch of businesses on All Saints Road. His was one of them. What's unique about Frank is that he had friends that were highly intelligent and were able to mobilize and write the questions to the government, government agencies, including the council, because the planning permission are the ones who were taking away his license, trading license, especially drinking license, as well as the Home Office, because they wanted to deport them, first of all. So it wasn't about, if you couldn't put them in jail, if you couldn't jail them, then you deport them. But because they couldn't deport them nationally, for some reason we're not sure of, they then looked to criminalise them. But and this happened when Stokely Carmichael from the Black Panthers in America came over and gave the famous speech in 67 in the Roundhouse. And that's when my dad and others went there. He then told them how to mobilise themselves, how to communicate with each other in different parts of either London or out of London. So we had the help from South Africa, we had the help from Palestinians, we had the help from Cuba, we had the help from Kenya, we had the help from obviously New York and other parts in Washington. So we were international in that sense, in terms of Panther, the arm of the Black Panthers. So, and then obviously we're Garveyites as well. You know, Marcus Garvey. We've got our Grenadian Malcolm X. So, you know, and also our family member is one of our prime ministers. My dad interacted with quite a few of the prime ministers. They had a child with Gary, who's my brother's mum's uncle. And the prime minister that got shot. His name's going to come back to me. He's related to us as well. And when we got the archives opened up.
What's the
Bishop.
the American president that got shot?
No, Bishop.
Okay.
The Grenadian prime minister that got shot in 1980. Just not too long after Bob Marley. They killed off Bob Marley. So you've got, when you open up the files, the secret files, you can see them, the way they counterintelligences on us and how they were watching us. And they say, Mr. Bishop came to see Mr. Gordon in Black People's Information Centre, and they used to follow us all
They
around.
had Big Brother back in them days.
Yes. Oh, yes. From the Home Office, from the time that once you pay for your ticket, wherever you come from, to get to here, they can
monitor you. Seriously.
And they do. Yeah.
Wow.
You got James Bond in them days, isn't it? That's all they do.
Yeah. Oh, gosh, wow. Well,
Anybody who challenges the system or the status quo is seen as a terrorist, is deemed as a terrorist, an aggressor to what they see as geopolitics and commerce. We are commerce. From the time you've got your birth certificate, you're cattle.
Yeah, absolutely.
And they know where to put you, and they know how to. The thing is, if you come into London, they will direct you exactly where you got to go. And once it's a deprived area, then they will categorize you. You can't get money, you can't get certain credit because you're blacklisted in that area. So there's areas of London that have always been blacklisted from 70. Ken Booth's, if you go and find Ken Booth's map, it will tell you everything that's been blacklisted. It has all these different lines, it's all color coded, and it tells you where the super rich are and where the super poor are. So if you look at the London Underground map, it's a similar thing. They've taken that London Underground map from Ken Booth's map of London. So once you look at that, and that means that you can't get certain insurance. Insurance is higher in West
different
London.
areas. Yeah, so true. It's amazing how different things differ from different areas, like north, west, south, and east. Yeah.
And the same as up north. You know, they are seen to be poorer. They're more industrial, but they're poorer. So they don't get. It benefits us if the housing is cheaper, but then so is the income cheaper.
Cheaper,
The transportation might be cheaper, but it's further.
Mm-hmm,
So it still calculates by the time you get to London how expensive it can be.
is, yeah.
So they have done it, and they've done it for 1,000 years. Which areas that they can suppress, and which areas that they will elevate, depending on what their needs are.
Yeah.
The corporation.
So they did it with Brixton, Peckham. It's still going on, isn't it? But they're trying to modernise all these areas now, though, aren't they? It was like you were saying back in the day, the areas where they were like, putting down, weren't they? But now they.
Well, what does modernisation mean? Because when we modernised it, it was inclusive. When they modernise it, it's inclusive.
Yeah, it's throwing out the black people.
Or people of colour.
People of colour.
And it's now corporation.
That's what they call modernisation.
Yeah. Thank you very much for bringing up the value of our area. And
now you can go.
Now,
bye.
And if you protest about it, like we did in Ladbroke Grove, then you become a terrorist.
You become a terrorist, and
So, for them, it's, and the thing is, our children don't know their history because, like we've seen in real time in America, since Trump has come in, he's now challenged all of our civil rights, and the funding that goes to civil rights for particular projects, for particular communities, he's now talking about getting rid. Well, he's got rid of all the black literature from universities now. They're not allowed to teach
and
it.
They say it's
and
not
courses.
racist; it's all about black people.
Yeah, and then on top of that, not only have you taken away the literature and taken away the courses, you're now saying to us, you're now telling the world that we invented everything that we invented, they've invented. White people suddenly invented it. So you've seen it in real time. So when they talk about the ironing board, if they talk about the plane,
they still our ideas. They still everything from us.
No, but he's actually said it. Even though we've spent 40 years finding the evidence to show and prove, he's just gone on the media platform and just said it. Now, the problem with our young people is that they're teaching them not to be analytical. Question everything.
You must do.
They're teaching them to be a flick culture on the phone. So
you
flick certain information.
Without thinking, they don't want you to use your brain so much.
You can get some of that information, and that's your starting point to research.
Yeah.
But it's not your be-all and end-all of
to
your
depend on it and
research. And this is what they're teaching them. I'm a teacher myself, and when I'm looking at what they are, say for instance, in a normal English exam, you have a paragraph. You would then have questions about that paragraph to see if you understand it and how you can utilize that information in other ways. Now what they're doing is reducing the paragraph to about 10 sentences with a question underneath it. What nonsense is that? So when you see examples of real time of them dumbing down your children's education. So I've got 4 children. The 3 of them that started 10 years ago, 15 years ago. And when I look back on their books, what they were learning then, even primary school, from year 5 to year 6, and then year 7 to year 11.
Compare it to now,
My child doesn't even know about Shakespeare if I don't teach her.
Goodness
I have to teach her Shakespeare's a black man. I have to teach her Jesus is a black man.
a lot of people don't realize Shakespeare's actually a black person. That right there, although Shakespeare to be or not to be.
Yeah, well, first of all, they thought it was a black
question.
First of all, they thought it was a black Jewish woman.
Yeah.
Amina Besitio.
Yeah.
But now they've realised it's actually a black. And I've always
what made them come to that realisation now?
Well, they're digging deeper and finding more information.
Oh, Lord.
I mean, she was associated to King Henry VIII's illegitimate son who was at 60 something, and she was only 12 or 13. So I mean, for me, we have to look at history as its time. Now, what we see is paedophilic behaviour.
Very much so. Even within the royal family, please.
That was the norm then, and now they want to bring it back to that situation. That's why they want to lower gay situations and gay consent. To under
and
16.
even sexual consent. Yeah, exactly.
Because that's what England was. It was you get married at 12. King Henry VIII's wives were all very young.
Very young, yeah.
They're 16 and under, like I think 12, 13. And he's already in his 30s. So, and culturally, that's in different parts of the world equally as well. So this is not necessarily unique to England.
Yeah, because you get the Indians, they still do it today. The Muslims,
Jews, they all, once you go through your bar mitzvah or once you go through your calling at 12, circumcision-wise or whatever-wise, that you have to do to tribally say that you're becoming
a man.
Circumcision, 12, all of those things are based on you getting ready to have a husband or have a wife at 12 or 13.
And you're still not so mentally ready and even physically ready, are you, at that age?
We're not, but the thing with these things is that what my dad and others try to do is make sure that when the young people were being chased around the streets in Grove in the 70s, we created a hostel and a housing association for them. So not only did we have to jump up, my dad have to jump up and go to Grove Police Station, Harrow Road Police Station, or Notting Hill Police Station, when parents used to phone in terror saying that the police had beaten up their child, and could you come to the sergeant's suite or go to find out what's happening with them, what abuse they had been suffering. That was one of the things that I didn't like, because my dad having to jump up and run off to the police station 2, 3 in the morning, or my dad taking me to Springfield and seeing all the licensed drugs being given to black people to dumb them down or to make them mute, as they experimented their drugs on them to perfect them to go into society. Or I had to go to Wandsworth Police Station, not Wandsworth, Wandsworth Prison, or all these other places that I had to attend with my dad, so that I could understand what it was that they were doing to the young people on the street.
Wow, amazing. So just having a refreshment, a lot of talking going on here. We need to refresh ourselves. So yeah, Jamilia, we're going to talk about Mother's Day today, as it is Mother's Day as well. What role did your mother play during that difficult period?
My beautiful mother, I don't think she knew what she was getting herself into. She was a teenager at the time, and she'd come from a very white Richmond black background, even though she'd come in from the age of 8 from Jamaica. She ended up being housing supported in Richmond, schooled in Richmond and housed in Richmond. So although she was hungry for her blackness, she'd grown up in 8 years of partial whiteness. But once she saw the calling of Ladbroke Grove and how vibrant it was culturally, and she knew Carnival had just started around, about maybe 6-7 years beforehand. She was excited, to come into that before the trial happened, obviously, to come to a black area, and seeing black people have some form of control in their own area. We squatted quite a lot in the 60s to obtain some of these buildings, and forced the council to come to some arrangement with us so we could allow us, because they weren't being used. And it's turned full circle. Kensington and Chelsea still have buildings that they cannot afford to run, but it's how you negotiate and propose with them to utilize those buildings. And do you have the what's the word? Do you have the intellectual support? Not support, but do you have the intellectual know-how to negotiate those? But yeah, so a lot. The answer to your story, I enjoyed growing up in that environment because it was a sea of black, and to see that we had created Notting Hill housing in its formation, Shepherd Bush housing, Westway housing, the hostel, Unity Hostel. To know that we had different types of businesses in Ladbroke Grove, not just record shops, not just Daddy Vigo's record shop is still there. It's the only one still there. If you go to All Saints Road now, you'll see the Mangrove restaurant. It couldn't have been more gentrified. It's so ironic.
But you think they'd make it into like a historical place, wouldn't you? Like turn it into a place of a landmark for history, wouldn't they? Does it still have? I haven't actually been there, but does it still have this?
It has no remnants of what it used to be. No.
No, you think they turn
apart from its plaque.
Oh, is that it?
That's it.
It
couldn't be more white.
No, they need to make it into sort of like a museum. Turn it into like a little museum.
They would. The owner would never do that. He the name's gone. Everything's gone. So but having said that,
they're white owner now.
Yeah. He went and bought it. Once they took it from Frank and he lost the business. I mean, he lost a lot, Frank. Even though he won the last trial. I mean, he went on to. That's the other thing people don't know about the trial. My dad had 2 trials. He said at the end of his trial, the Mangrove 9 trial, he told the courts that he'd rather go to prison than have a suspended sentence. Because when you have a suspended sentence and there is a racist connotation or minded policeman, they're going to find a way to get you. Whereas once you've gone to prison, you're serving your sentence. They might get you inside prison in terms of prison officers, but you're serving your prison sentence. They've done what they set out to do.
Mm.
If you're suspended and you go out, that means they can trouble you, they can interact with you in a negative way until you explode, or until they keep digging until they can find something, and then they catch you. That's more stressful.
Yeah.
So my dad said to them openly, in front of all newspapers and everything else, I'd rather go to prison.
Mm.
Oh no, Mr. Gordon, what do you mean? This is a civil society. We don't do those things.
Really?
As soon as he went to get his papers from the courts, one of the police officers came towards him and says, you think you're one of those, are you? You're an uppity nigger.
Mm.
You wait to get outside. We're going to get you. And sure enough, the next day, he was standing outside with his friends outside of PPRC. They came over with some menial, stupid little excuse to come and interfere with him. It turned into an argument. They bamboozled him into it's to do with parking, which he was parked and it's his car. And they got him into the van and they broke his arm and they beat him up. And that was just the day after the trial. So that was in The Guardian, talking about what happened to him after the trial. And he was saying, well, this is what I'm telling you. Doesn't matter that the trial is... So my dad had 2 trials. Roddy Kentish, they went for him later on. And they managed to convict him on a false trumped-up charge. That nearly broke him. So all our men, in some form or another, had some form of depression. That either broke the relationships with their partners, or it was a dysfunctional father or mother that we had growing up.
Yeah.
Because you don't walk away from those trials easily without any form of scarring, whether mental scarring or physical scarring.
Yeah, absolutely not. Yeah.
And a lot of people don't know that. So that was the sadness of that era.
Must have been so trying. Many women supported the movement behind the scenes. What stories have you heard from mothers and wives holding families together during those times? Did anyone ever tell you what it was like? Other women relate their stories to you about how they felt around that time? Like the sisterhood.
Well, Barbara and Althea, as the 2 women that were members of the Mangrove 9, they struggled. Darcus Howard and Barbara were partners at that time, and they had Darcus Jr., who ran the record label in England. Again, Auntie Althea was, like I said, was pregnant and with her first child, and by the time she had she didn't have her child until after the trial. So the women were, as we do, multitask, keep the families going while the fathers are in court. They created the banners, they created the newspapers, they done a lot of the literature. They galvanized a lot of the people for the marches. They made sure that in the community that we had sufficient support in the dock, not the docks, the open gallery, public gallery. And that was formidable. So when you see a force of people, your own people from the area and outside the area and international, looking down on the prosecution service, it instead of being intimidated from all whites, they were intimidated by us. But the women were formidable about keeping not just the home together, but keeping the case open for everybody to see internationally what was happening to us. So they were powerful individuals, yeah.
Yeah, amazing. So we're going to take a music break now, guys. I'm going to hear a bit more about Jamila herself. Here's a little music break for you guys. Fela Kuti with Basement Lady.
sebe, omi lo ma lo. If you want cook soup, now what are you go use? Tori bangbo na omi lero re o. If your head is hot, now what are you cool am? Tomo banda gba omi lo ma lo. If your child dey grow, now what are him go use? If water kill your child, now what are you go use? No, no, no. To me back mama when me no lo malo. Go so to le shake, go malo mi o. Nothing without water. Go so to le shake, go malo mi o. Oh me you love that. Water. You know get any. Oh me you love that.
What I know gets no enemy. A lot of people may not understand that. How would you like to express that to them? What I know gets no enemy.
Watch your back.
For your enemies.
Yeah,
The
front, back,
frenemies.
side, everything. Even your own.
Yeah,
are
for
just
real.
Bless them in their ignorance, but move away and keep walking. Keep moving.
Absolutely. So yeah, welcome guys to the last part of BiaBora show with my special guest, JAMILA Bolton Gordon. So JAMILA, you're a bit of a writer yourself, aren't you?
Trying to, I'm leaning into that. I've just finished my 10 years of re-educating myself. And what that means is that I've just, in those 10 years, done my undergrad in oil and gas procurement management.
Amazing.
That's my phone
That's a
going off.
phone, really.
That's why I like it's organic. Everything happens.
We keep it real here, though.
Yeah, definitely. And that's how it should be.
That's how it should be, totally.
And then I spent the last 3.5 years, studying environmental sciences. So I got my master's in science, in being a scientist, the 26th of July. Is it 26th of July?
Congratulations.
So my 4 children were with me. They saw me collect my certificate on the podium with my hat and my gown. But these things are that they've taken from Africa. Let me just let you know that from now. So those gowns and those accreditations are African.
Congratulations to you.
So I'm happy with that. So that's, and I've done my master. Oh my goodness. I've done my master's in, like I said, environmental sciences, specialising in air pollution, which we are greatly affected by, and oil contamination and water contamination, recycling, waste to energy. Those are the type of things that I look at.
Amazing. So, JAMILA is just written a book. Are you working on a book?
I'm working on a
It's
book.
a children's book about the environment and education. It is written about. It's called Marvelous Solution Pollution. Could you tell the audience, please, a bit more about the book?
Yeah, I'm currently in the process of writing that. So it's so I normally do workshops. I do normally do workshops for primary, secondary, and university level on the Mangrove 9. Then I started to integrate recycling, which I thought was interesting. So I consult with.
You're a busy lady. She's in an interview, guys.
I'm gonna turn it off for a minute. So I'm doing. So I do consulting with companies now, sustainability audits to do with their carbon footprint, introducing recycling to them, office recycling, and also looking at how the building can be utilized in a beneficial way that reduces pollution inside the buildings indoors. My dad was an advocate for, they were ahead of their time, a lot of them, in terms of pollution, clean housing, hence why we had a housing association, mold and damp, which is what we incurred. I was always a very sickly child, unfortunately. I'm asthmatic, a severe asthmatic, and it's generational because my daughter has asthma. One of my children are autistic, but functioning autistic. So they're all extremely bright, but they all have allergies. They all have sensitivities to poison that we have in our food. So
And a lot of people don't realise that we've got a lot of food poison in our food. Do you want to answer that? The person's very persistent.
you know what it is? It's a voicemail.
Oh, I see. So it keeps going on now.
So I'm just going to turn this off, sorry.
So I'm loving the title, The Marvelous Solution Pollution Investigators. That's a creative way of helping young people understand the importance of protecting our planet. So can you tell me what inspired you to it's very imaginative, isn't it? Why would you label your book?
Well, if my interest was obviously, like I just said, asthma.
Yeah.
So once I learned what I learned in uni, it complemented or expanded my knowledge of what is the main sources of pollution, what the impact is on your health, respiratory, cancer, dementia, depression, anxiety. All of those are based on the pollutions, the toxins that are in our air and what we use and what we eat and what we put on our skin, as well as outside factors that we have no control over. So now, currently we have war. So my workshops are like, I'm creating an online 3-month course to do with all those different headings, all those different topics to do with AI pollution. I'll give you an example. So to build an AI machine, you need at least 20 acres. So you've got clear land, forestry, just to build
Just
that
for
area.
AI?
Because the building in itself is humongous. Because you have to then have a cooling system. You have to have a memory system. And then the machine itself is huge. It's like 2 stories to process all of that information to be powered out. Then you have to have the people to read all the data that's going to be uploaded in it. It's like a call center, like in India. But those people, usually they don't have good...
education.
No, they don't have a good working environment.
Oh.
So your human rights about working conditions is not necessarily adhered to in those type of countries.
Yeah.
So they don't have any windows, but they have air conditioning. You're working 12 hours, looking at very divisive content. Sometimes it's sexual content and deviant content. There's no training for them. There's no therapy for them. So you've got human breakdown of intellectual prowess. Then you've got the aspect of ecosystems that are then lost because you're building this man-made machine. Then not only just that, the raw materials, where the raw materials coming from, it's not ethical. To build a machine or a phone, you need lithium. And that's from the Congo. So you've got child labor in the Congo. So I go into layers about these things. So it's all right pressing a button, but you have to understand what's going on before you get to that button.
Yeah,
and to drive that button and to drive
totally.
information.
Yeah, you need to go the background knowledge, obviously. Yeah,
And it's usually areas of conflict that they've created so they can mine. So my thing is, I like world history because obviously now we're decolonizing the history. So we're knowing that we had black kings and queens in England and in Scotland and Ireland and in the rest of the world.
I still think some people don't know. They still need to keep, reminding these people.
Yeah. Well, you've got a black King James the First of England, but the sixth of Scotland. He was the one who got the Bible commissioned, and Queen Victoria's grandmother is Queen Charlotte. She's black. She's a black noble Moor. So Thomas More is a black man. Charles II is a black king with a black son. So that's why you call.
And we get no credit for any of this.
There's so much that we are uncovering, but it's in view. If I'll tell you one little story that my dad once told me. He said, the Romans came to England, as you know, but I never knew his name. And it was Septimus Severus, Lucius Septimus Severus. He's the biggest Roman emperor. More than Julius Caesar, more than...
It was the beginning. I think it's Julius Caesar. Everyone knows about Julius
Mark
Caesar.
Antony, all of them.
Oh, yeah, Mark Antony.
He covered the most terrain in terms of takeovers. His military defense they still use it today because he's the one who created, like Hannibal. He's the one like Hannibal's your turn now. Like Hannibal. Hannibal went around the mountains with the elephants. He went straight over. He brought the biggest army to England. Lucius Septimus. He's now buried in York Cathedral with his wife. He unified North and South. He built Hadrian's Wall, 80 miles of Hadrian's Wall. He built and mapped out and architect London. And the last bit of the wall is by Tower Bridge.
Wow.
I think it was AD? So it's 127 AD, I think he was here. And he also built Holland Park Road. So from Marble Arch all the way to Uxbridge, that's the Roman roads. Yeah, that's all them.
I never knew that.
All our roads.
You're teaching me a lot today, girl. Whoa.
And one thing I just want to go back to with the trial. The reason why the Mangrove trial is so big is because we've got the Society of Black Lawyers. They were part of and used our building. We, like I said, all the different law centres that were developed from that, but also they were the only people in the trial to ask for all black jury with the Magna Carta law.
Oh yeah.
So the Magna Carta law means that you're tried by your peers. That's what the king brought in 1060 something. So they ended up with 2. They requested all black, but they ended up with 2.
2, okay.
And also, obviously, that we've said before, they have 3 self-defending people. That's unheard of.
That is unheard of.
And it was one of the most costliest trials of that time. So nowadays money, it'd be over £1 million. So, and then not only that, it helped cultivate. And the Stephen Lawrence lawyer, what's his name again? It's just left me. Can't remember his name, but he was brilliant for Stephen Lawrence's family. But he was a student of my dad's.
Oh, was he?
Yeah.
Part of the law. Oh, amazing.
So a lot of people learned how to deal with... Rudy Narayan was absolutely a maverick in a lot of the riots, 80s riots that we had in Brixton and other places until they finally got him. And then, they took away his ability to earn money. And that's when he was in the decline. But so many things have happened because of that trial. The Bradford 12, like I said, the Oval 4 and others outside in Liverpool, Manchester, Bristol, and also the Carnival. A lot of the Mangrove Nine were involved. Frank Critchow's brother, Victor Critchow, was running Carnival through the 80s when it was at its best. Now it's been privatised by the Kensington Chelsea and the police and the government and GLA. We don't have control of it. A white man controls it now, called Ian Comfort. And now, because of that, we used to feed all the other carnivals in London and outside of London. So Leeds, Bristol, Liverpool, Ipswich, all of those who had carnivals, they're struggling like us to even put the carnival on each year now.
I never knew Ipswich had a carnival. My brothers live in Ipswich. Never said to me, "Come, Ipswich." Really?
There's a lot of places that have a carnival because we used to go.
And I even never knew Kingston had a carnival. I went to it last year and it's actually marvellous. I was thinking, I never knew Kingston had a carnival.
There's black people
It's
in
all
Kingston.
black people, yeah.
Anywhere where there's rich people, you'll find the black servitude side of quarters not far from that.
Yeah,
In Kingston.
Kingston, yeah.
So we are there to serve. We were brought to serve, or brought to build, or brought to protect.
Yeah.
So that's why a lot of black people, especially men, because when you break the head of the black family, you take away the man. You have the children, the sons walking around aimlessly. You have the girls who don't know how to be.
And that's why they do that. Yeah, they target the head of the. Yeah.
Yeah, you take him, remove him.
Yeah, and that's it.
We don't know how to behave as women.
Yeah.
In terms of how you love your man if your man is not there. So then how do you love your son if you don't know how to love your man? So you take away the man, and then the mum
The woman
has to be
mum and dad.
A man and dad. Mum
Yeah,
and dad. But you can't be a mum to a 14-year-old boy because you're not a man.
Yeah, you can't
So
teach
then you
them
start
how to be a
irritating
man.
your son, and he starts irritating you
Yeah,
because it's
yeah,
friction. Because
yeah.
he doesn't want you. He wants his dad.
Dad, yeah. And you can't be a man. You're not a woman. You can't teach a man.
But there's some women who want to be equal. That's the wrong notion. So anyway, and my dad we come from an agricultural family as well. So anything pure and natural is something else that I'm into as well, which is Oils of Paradise, which is all pure stuff. One thing I must say to our sisters and our brothers: stop eating crap. You're paying these people to kill you.
Kill you, basically. To
Why
put
would
it
you
lightly.
make them rich?
Yeah.
And you are getting poorer, not only in your health, but intellectually. Because you're angry when you eat rubbish food. You don't think properly. You don't think analytically if you're eating rubbish. Because 90% of our food in the shops is man-made. Why are you eating seedless grapes? It's GM grapes. And those same GM seeds can't grow naturally every year.
Exactly. Why would you think a grape would grow without seeds or
Anything without seeds, you shouldn't be
seeds?
having.
You shouldn't be having it. 'Cause
Anything, So we have to look at our diet. We have to look at the environment that we're in, how much plastic we're using, which is part of my workshops, what chemicals are in our rooms. When you've got dust, when you've got asbestos, when you've got mold, when you've got all of these things are contributory factors to our ill health.
Yeah, totally.
Stress is another one.
Silent killers, I call them.
And also for black women, stop using the bubble on makeup and using their hair.
Yeah, it's a big thing. Killing a lot of black women. They don't realise that. All the extensions and they've
Black
got all these
women-
chemicals in those.
Yeah. Chemicals.
They're killing you and
We
causing
these
cancer and stuff
other
like
cultures
that.
are making the hairs. They're putting it, dripping it in the chemicals, drying it off, dyeing it, and on top of that, and then selling it to us. They're not regulated, so they can put any amount of chemicals in that.
In there, yeah.
Black women have the highest cancerous room in the world. We have fibroids that are killing us, stopping us from being fertile because we are stressed. We're eating a lot of crap because we're stressed, and we're living in an environment that's hostile.
Hostile, totally. Yeah.
So, we have to then go back to washouts. So your Cersei, your Neem.
Yeah, bitter.
Yeah, all of those
All
things
of them
that our
things.
parents used to stand over us to go and beat us and stay in the toilet for the weekend. We should be doing that. But we're running. Because we got beaten, and it wasn't delivered to us in a palatable way, we're running from that for 40, 50 years. But now we are getting sick in our 50s, and some of us are taking the vaccine. So that untold
That is even
things
worse.
that, our immune system is shot to put. So, and then we're eating rubbish on top of that.
Yeah.
So, what we need to do is have plenty of washouts. Teach our children. When our children say, I'm not taking it. Yeah, you are taking it. You ain't going out. But we've lost it. It's like the same thing in terms of culture. What I miss about that culture in Abbott Grove is having to reprimand a child that's out of place or talking out of place on the bus, on the road, pulling them up, saying, no, behave yourself. I will see a son, I call them my son and my children because I used to teach. And I will say, I see them on the bus and they'll be like, yeah, man, you see that effing da-da-da-da-da, and da-da-da, you see that girl, and she does this. And I say, stop your noise. And come and talk, sit down and talk to me. And all about 5 of them are standing there. Ooh, did she just say that? Ooh, we get pull up. And it's a big thing on the bus. And then I'll talk to all of them. I said, listen, you're representing not only yourself, but you're representing your family. Talk and walk correctly. Pull up your pants, because my daughter would never go with anybody whose pants is hanging. She brought that person to my house. And I opened the door. And the pants are hanging off your backside. When the only time they hang off their backside, it was when those individual policemen would either fling you in the back of the van, or you were on a slave plantation and they were tearing it off.
That's where they said it derived
and they were
from,
raping
though,
you.
wasn't it? That's why they said it derived from. Yeah, them pulling the
So if
and
you
it
want
became fashion.
if you want to be somebody's something, or you want to be looking derogatory and then wonder why people don't respect you, then change your attire, change your attitude, change how you think. But parents, stop looking at them from the sideline like they're somebody else's children and bring them in, because they're our children. You don't see other cultures divorced from their children talking about how they're so rude or how they're so this or how they're actually bringing their children in and making sure that they don't carry on like that. But we are then actively criticizing them from afar. That don't make no sense to me. I don't know your child, but if I saw your child misbehaving, I'm going to pull up your child.
It takes a village,
What happened to the village? So when you were saying to me what happened to Labrador Grove, there is no village there left. You know, so these are the things that we have to really change. And through my work, I do that.
Yeah, good for you. You should be proud of that. Yes, yeah, absolutely, in a great position to be doing that. But have you ever been in a? I mean, you've got to be careful, because have you ever been in a situation where they might try and attack you? Do you know what I mean?
Who, the government? Or?
No, the kids.
No, my son was saying, Mum, don't leave it, because they're trying to stab you. I said, if that's my way to go, that's my way to go.
Yeah, that's what I think.
If I can save a life, if I saw a set of boys running, and I've seen that once, my son went to a party, and his friend got stabbed at the party. Yeah. In front of his eyes. I mean, he had to run. They almost stabbed him. They cut the back of his thing as he was running, and my godson. And that was the first time he'd been out in I don't know how long, because he's got that's another thing. He got injured in rugby with the school, a racist school. But yeah, so we, you know, I say to my children, actors, be proud of who you are first and foremost. Yeah. But learn your education. Education, I can't stress it enough. No one can ever take it away from you. That's something. It's in a book. It's in a book. Read your old books. Who made these things happen? Respect and understand them. You respect yourself. If you don't read and understand these things, you'll never never respect yourself, and other people can then direct you because you don't know yourself. Knowledge is power. Yeah. And we're losing our power because we're losing our knowledge. So we have to, Saturday schools, supplementary schools, we all built. For those purposes. You've got the Chinese have got their Saturday schools. You've got the Indians have got their Saturday schools, and during the week. Every other culture's got their Saturday school. We used to have, and we still do have in pockets, different places, but not in not like it should be. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, even youth clubs and stuff are like diminishing and stuff where people used by design. By design. Yeah. Many listeners may not know the story through the film Mangrove, because there was a movie made about the mangrove by Steve McQueen. Yeah, and part of the Small Axe series. How did that feel, having a movie? How accurate do you think the movie compared with the stories you heard growing up? And how did it feel having a movie made about your dad's legacy in that? Mixed feelings, because I didn't. The way they depicted my dad wasn't accurate. Oh. So that was highly disappointing. Lack of knowledge, lack of research, as he was one of the pivotal ones of the trial with his supply of lawyers and self-defending himself. As you opened up and introduced me, you said 2. That's self-defending, and it was actually 3, so it's inaccurate. Yeah, totally. So, but having said that, Steve McQueen's Grenadian. We know the family well. His mother and his aunt in particular. And his sister. So I was glad that he highlighted the Mangrove 9 trial. The trial in itself, the area of the trial in the film was done very well. But the characters didn't have they were muted, so they didn't have much of a storyline in the end. Working with the BBC is always fractious. They can be like Dracula, where they extract all the information but don't give anything back. Giving back means, well, we're telling your story, so you should be grateful. But my thing is how you tell the story
Giving back.
and not keeping the
Property,
intellectual
yeah.
property to yourselves.
Yeah.
So like I say, it's mixed feelings. They didn't really show. I mean, some of it's going to be fictional, so we have to understand that. Some of it is the fictional part you can't do anything about because you have to. That goes with the territory.
Make sure you're seen on this.
So that was interesting. When we sat and watched it in the BFI, before the BFI, we watched it privately as the families because there's 9 families. I can just say the Mangrove 9. They're all here on my T-shirt.
Oh yeah. Oh, what even coming now? Look, guys, the tribe that changed British history and law.
That's my dad here. And so this is the 9 of them. You've got Anthony Innes. You've got Roden Gordon. You've got Alfie LeConte Jones. You've got Frank Critchlow here.
Can you guys see?
You've got Rupert Boyce. You've got Roddy Kentish. You've got Barbara Bees. She used to work for Hammersmith and Fulham. She was brilliant at media.
So there are also females involved, and people think it's just like guys. Yeah.
You've got Darcus Howell.
Oh yeah.
And this young man here who's gone to America. He's the only man left actually.
Oh.
And I'm just trying to remember his name. Good off my head now. But that will come to me in a second. He's in his 70s. They're all in their 70s now.
Wow.
My dad, I think, was shy of 80 when he passed. So that in itself is brilliant in the sense that we can not only talk about it, but we can show what they actually look like.
Yeah, amazing.
I've got to remember his name, bless him. And on ages wise, which is also important, he was the youngest. I'll remember his name in a minute. Barbara and Auntie were
His
late
Dark is
20s.
still alive. He's still alive, isn't he?
No,
Oh,
none
they're all
of them
gone apart from him. Oh.
The 3 of them left now.
Oh.
But the youngest was Innes.
So there's also a lady called Yinka that I
There's-
was
yeah,
researching about.
We do the next generation. We've got a podcast that we do.
Oh,
The next
okay.
generation of the Mangrove
Yeah,
Nine.
yeah.
So we've
Because
interviewed.
her father was involved as well, wasn't he?
That's her dad here.
Oh, that's her dad. Okay,
She's
yeah.
Innes. She was a musician in her own right in the 80s. My dad was a musician as well. He's a very talented musician. So
He's from Grenada, wasn't he?
Trinidad.
Trinidad, yeah.
Yeah.
But a name like Yinka, I was thinking, she has to be African Nigerian, but she does explain why her father called her Yinka. Yeah.
Yeah. If you want to see our podcast, we're on YouTube. You can just find us, Next Generation and Mangrove 9. We've got about 10 or 11 of them podcasts.
Excellent. So be sure to tune in, guys. So what's your YouTube handle?
Next Generation.
The Next Generation, here,
the
guys,
Mangrove 9.
of the Mangrove 9. Excellent. How do environmental issues disproportionately affect black and minority communities, do you think?
Because
How-
they house us near recycle centres, incinerators, landfill,
Wastelands.
motorways mainly. A40, North Circular, we're all living around there.
Yeah.
South Circular.
Polluted areas.
Everywhere
Not
there's-
good for our lungs.
No. So they're cheap areas. The brown land. So brown land means that you can historically you've put rubbish on there. So they see us as living with the rubbish. It's
Yeah,
cheap.
rubbish
It's a cheap
cheap,
way of
rubbish
dealing
cheap.
with us.
Yeah.
Cheap housing on contaminated lands, basically.
Yeah.
So that's what I call environmental racism. So anything that man makes
Yeah.
that is not natural to that changes the chemical makeup of the atmosphere to a negative is environmental
Mental.
injustice and racism
Yeah.
because it's by design. Because your planning permission is to put all these migrants here. Why don't you put them in the rich areas? They would thrive. But instead
No,
of
you
doing
don't
that,
want, yeah.
you want them down.
And they put you back off licenses so you can get more drunk and dysfunctional and
oh yeah, you've
the
got
black people. That's what they do.
You've
They
got eating restaurants. You'll have 20 and you'll have one bookshop.
yeah, yeah.
So,
They put you in areas that are not thriving, like you correctly say, deprived areas. They don't
well,
want.
we made Nabbit Grove thrive.
Yeah.
And and they
they
didn't
didn't
like
like that. Yeah, they didn't. That's
So
the
that's why we've
problem.
had riots.
That was the problem.
58, we had Cochrane death, and that was the springboard for that riot in 58. And then obviously we had Carnival. We generated with Claudia Jones and others a format or formula that would bring people together, but also highlight the racism and resilience that we are experiencing.
Yeah.
And also highlight the racism that's going back home, because it mirrors back home. You know, you left back home suppressed. You've gone into another area in another country suppressed. So you're dealing with two sets of suppression, and you're supporting two sets of families.
Yeah.
So the children that are left behind in the Caribbean, when they eventually come over, it's dysfunctional.
Functional, yeah,
Because they've got siblings that have grown up here that don't understand their cultural understanding.
Yeah.
So we've already got a dichotomy of different energies that are not sitting well together because of the environment that they're placed in. So a lot of the family is broken down, and black people can't. We're taught not to like each other, not to get on with each other, simply because they fear us the most. If you're the brightest, the most intelligent, the most creative, the strongest, through our carbon, we are carbon that's 12%, or carbon 12 as they call it, means it's the richest carbon in the universe that we come from. We come from the universe, which is black matter. So we are telepathic. We're strong.
But we don't realise our power.
We've been educated out of that.
Yeah, yeah.
They've taken the Harishas and the deities, they've taken all of that away from us and called it black magic.
Magic, yeah. Anything negative relates to
Well, it's
black.
not even negative. I'll whoop in your ass from my mind. So when you're getting some licks running down the road, you don't know why, that was my power. But because my third eye is closed, because I'm eating rubbish and I'm in a natural environment, I'm too busy using whatever energy I do have against my own or against other people or myself.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. They want you programmed that way too. Oh, very enlightening. Was your father's activism a source of inspiration for you and advocacy, would you say? Or dad just ask you that?
Now it is. It wasn't before.
I wasn't.
He was annoying before.
Yeah.
Love you, Dad,
Yeah.
but he was annoying.
Yeah.
You know, study a book.
Yeah.
Study
yeah.
education, study this, study that. He was very militarized in that way, which a lot of parents meant well, but they didn't explain things.
Yeah.
Had he explained, his version was to either study the law of the land or the money of the land, otherwise you don't know what you're doing. So he had the law. I didn't really want to go into law. I went into accountancy initially, studied management accounts, and I went into teaching. Then I had my children, and I had a lot of issues with one of my firstborn who was highly sick, almost died 4 times, with asthma attacks. So we were always in a high dependency unit, a bit like Ella, who is one of my characters in my book, Marvelous Pollution Solution Investigators.
Oh, yeah.
So Ella's mum, Rosamond, her daughter it's almost a parallel story, but unfortunately her daughter passed away from it, from nitrogen dioxide poisoning, which is traffic poisoning, because she lived 25 yards away from the main road of South Circular, main road, Lewisham.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
So her death is the only one attributed to nitrogen dioxide poisoning in the whole of the UK. So her story is what helped me to then write something. So not just that. So my dad also and others helps the Westway have their first board in 1970. So that whole Westway A40 structure that runs through Ladbroke Grove, it cut through a whole community to build that. They finished building it in 1971. Michael Heseltine, as an MP, opened it.
Don't forget about him. Yeah.
That was a nightmare. It destroyed half the community. 600 homes went. So with that in mind, we said, well, if you're going to build this structure that the rich didn't want in Notting Hill, and they put it down here for the planning permission, then you're going to have to give us some form of community support. So we're going to open up all these we're going to build units under the Westway. So my dad got a blue pact. Him and Anthony and my dad and Roddy Kentish, they opened up businesses under the Westway. We had a lot of love from Ken Niverton and the GLL back then to build black businesses. And unfortunately for them, they've gone through the trial, they've gone through all these other things, and then the management system changed, and they wanted to go commercial. So they got rid of all the units that were black. They had a campaign to do that.
Yeah.
My dad and others went to court. We lost. So what they did is that they financially restricted us through the court cases. So they made us bankrupt.
Wow.
So my dad has gone through that as well on top of everything else.
Gosh. Do you know, I've been so interested It's been so interesting talking to you. We've been going over. We've got 4 minutes left of the show. I know. It's gone so quickly.
Well, listen, when you look for me, you'll find that I'm not only doing.
So, yeah, inform everyone what you're up to and where they can
where you can
find you.
me.
Yeah,
my battery's gone
absolutely.
now. So okay.
It's gone so quickly. I really enjoyed talking to you. Is that wow?
Thank you. So I'm actually now in the process of doing my course, my 3-month course. That's Solution Pollution. My actual company will be Paradise Solution Pollution. I'm also within doing the 3-month course. I'm also doing my book, and I'm also doing workshops, all to do with pollution, all to do with environmental injustice, racism, but more importantly, air pollution and pollution in general. So the 4 characters are the 4 elements of the earth. So I've turned it into that.
Yeah.
So Ella is air because of air pollution. Zayn is land pollution, Zayn's law, Ella's law. And then you have Abwa, who's the indoor pollution. The Sudanese boy who died at 2 with mold. And then you've got Grenfella, who is part of Grenfell.
Amazing.
So you're talking, because my whole purpose is to outline and reduce the friction between academic scientific language to community language. Break it down, and be that pathway to break it down. Because I didn't understand it until I had to go and study it. So people don't understand pollution or waste because they think it's a rich person's understanding. So how do you?
They don't realise
it
it
the
does.
most.
Totally.
So and then on top of that, I've got my oils. Whether it be mixed with shea butter, hemp. So oils of paradise is my oils that are coming up as well. So we're mixing all of that and trying to re-educate people about our own shea butter. You can eat it. It's an oil, just like coconut oil, just like palm oil. They took us away from all our oils that actually helped our systems, our immune systems, and our skin, and gave us sunflower oil, rapeseed oil, vegetable oil, which is a killer. For us. So we're just re-educating everybody on all of those things. So you can find us on TikTok, you can find us on Facebook, you can find us on, we will create a website that has all of these things on it. And we also look at housing, how we can effectively house or rehouse young people as well. So all that's coming up soon.
Totally. Amazing. Been an amazing guest. Thank you so much. We're going to close in prayers now. Father God, thank you for the mothers who raised the leaders and the fathers who fought for justice and the communities who refused to be silenced. May the legacy of courage continue in our children and grandchildren. Bless every listener today and every mother listening. Amen. So, Jamila, it's been wonderful talking to you.
And you, my dear. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome, and good luck in all your ventures.
Yeah, and I'll be doing it. I'm determined. I always have been. I'm like my dad. They always say I'm like my dad. So I'm looking forward to not only educating myself, but educating others on that journey.
Amen. It's been amazing learning about British history that a lot of people may not even realise. Do you think it's taught in schools, by the way, about the Mangrove 9, or is there something you don't think they just before we close?
We campaign to get it on in the law, so it's in the GCSE curriculum for year 11. But I don't know if they do it properly in universities yet.
Yeah, I think it definitely should be included in the curriculum, as you say.
It's Black history.
It's definitely Black history.
Is what makes English history. It's not the other way around.
They don't teach you that. We made Britain. Black people.
But we're talking about 1,000 years we've made Britain.
Yeah, exactly.
The oldest man that found in Britain is a black man. And he was found in the cave. He's a Grimaldi. So we have been here way before English people in general. And we've re-established we got to re-establish our power and our knowledge. Yeah. So once we do that, we won't be walking around with our pants hanging off our butts.
No, we don't want to be.
And then we won't have the young girls with the trousers and their shorts all up their bum. We will be having young kings and queens in waiting.
Amen. So, bless up, people. Have a happy week. I'm going to leave you with Velocity, as that's one of Jamila's favourite songs. Have a lovely week ahead, guys.
Thank you.
And tune in, guys, next week on JusCoolRadio at JusCoolRadio.com. Got more exciting guests to look forward to on the BiaBora Show, JusCoolRadio.
Get ready to ignite your party with the electrifying beats and non-stop energy of Just Cool Radio. Whether you're planning a wedding, corporate event, birthday bash, or just a night to remember, Just Cool Radio is your go-to DJ and dance entertainer, guaranteed to make your event unforgettable. With an extensive music library spanning all genres, Just Cool Radio knows how to read the crowd and keep the dance floor packed all night long. From classic hits to the latest chart toppers, every song is expertly mixed to perfection, creating a seamless flow that keeps the party vibes high. But that's not all. Just Cool Radio brings more than just music. With dynamic lighting, engaging MC skills, and interactive dance routines, this entertainment package is designed to captivate and thrill your guests from start to finish. Whether it's an intimate gathering or a grand celebration, Just Cool Radio tailors the experience to match your vision and exceed your expectations. Book Just Cool Radio today and turn your event into an extraordinary celebration of music, dance, and pure fun. For booking and inquiries, visit www.justcoolradio.com or call +44 7904 598 848. Get ready to dance the night away with Just Cool Radio, where every beat brings the heat.